All right, good morning, everybody. Another day with recording with my hood up, and I am absolutely freezing. So today we're gonna go through Wrexham. What happened in Wrexham in 2024? And did we increase from 2023? Was it a good one? Remember, for context, hopefully you can hear me properly. Uh, for context, Wrexham was my first acquisition. So Wrexham was the one I bought from a couple who was retiring. He had a bit of health problems. It was only a small site, but I saw the potential. Um, it's fascinating because I've done podcasts about it before. But long story short, I bought the total price was £90,000. It was 10,000 square foot, and they had no mezzanine. We still haven't put a mezzanine floor in it. It's a little bit more difficult than just putting in a new mezzanine. We've got to take everybody out. So it was £90,000. It was £45,000 upfront and £45,000 over 2 years. Um, and they also had £24,000 in the bank. So I only put in like 20 grand myself. Don't get me wrong, there has been capital expenses. We have put fences round, we have made the shutter, electric roller shutter, pin code access, etc. So we have spent money on it. So I don't want to pretend we haven't. But I could see the potential. They said breaking even, but it turns out they was losing money. Because believe it or not, when people sell, they don't always tell you the truth. Do you know what? I'm going to take this down. So hopefully my hair's not too much of a mess. Let's have a look. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's a mess, but never mind. Hopefully you can hear me better anyway. So now I'm getting really hot with this fire. Right. So let's go on with it. So Wrexham, ultimately, it was an amazing year. The headlines are we increased revenue by 60%. I keep getting all the figures through from work at 8 o'clock. God knows why somebody's in at 8 o'clock in the morning, but they can't wait to get to work. So Wrexham increased its revenue by 60%. I'm going to have to turn this down. There we go. Get it on level 7 instead of level 9. So this is 2023 versus 2024. What were the improvements and what are my ambitions for 2025? Because obviously we've had a massive upturn in revenue. We've increased like 70 odd percent, which we needed to do because it was only breaking even was the site or losing a little bit of money. So we needed to do something. And I think we took it over in early 2023, February 2023, we took it over. And so obviously we'd already made some changes and the revenue would increase from 2022 to 2023. Right. So let's get on with it. As you know, I have three different metrics that we look towards. We looked at closing, but I want to say this again. I have more metrics than this, but these are the three that I've chosen to show you guys about my sites and how well they're doing. Closing occupied square foot for the year, total churn rate for the year, and revenue for the year. So we need to know what occupied square foot is. We need to know what churn rate is because I like to see it going down. Sorry, I've got a cold. Revenue for the year as well. So let's start by having a look at 2023. What was 2023 like? That should be the last one, by the way, if you can hear the emails come through. The closing occupancy was 7,200. And I think the previous, 2022. So this is what I mean. It was so, it, it was mismanaged, but there was only doing two or three things wrong. And two or three things wrong meant the difference from selling it for £1 million and selling it for me putting 20 grand in. It's crazy. Honestly, I feel so sorry for him because knowledge is power. It sounds corny, but it really is. But you've got to implement that knowledge. And we haven't done anything crazy, nuts. But this site will be making over £200,000 a year. Not quite yet, but it will be next year. 2025 might make 200 grand, but certainly will do next year. 5 times multiple, that's £1 million. 4 times multiple is 800 grand. And it could be making 250 grand, therefore 4 times multiple is £1 million. And like I said, there's not a lot of things you need to change, tweak here and there to make sure that you get the maximum. And they've been running it for 15 years. 15 years, and they hardly saw anything out of it. It was a struggle every single year. We run it for less than 2 years, and it's already making 150 grand a year. And these people would never ever get a mentor. They would never ever learn. And there's nothing wrong with them, by the way. There was amazing people, but I don't understand. why people have a problem. Emma Banks put something on LinkedIn the other day saying, "Does anyone know a mentor for leadership?" I'm like, "Oh my God, that is music to my ears." Because why would we want to be as good as we are next year? As good as we are now, why do we want to be the same next year? We don't. And for Emma actually to publicly put that out and say, "I want to get better. Can anyone teach me?" I'm like, okay, hell, I love that. I love that girl. That is amazing. I think that wanting to improve yourself, wanting to better yourself, and actually investing your time and money in something. And by the way, I'm not trying to sell you anything because I got a message today, before 8 o'clock asking me if I do mentorship. And unfortunately, at the minute, I don't. It's something I'm looking at, but I don't do it at the minute because I'm too busy trying to make money in my own storage. So at some point I might do, but I'm not trying to sell it at all. But I just feel like that. Why wouldn't you? It's the greatest ROI that I've ever had. And I'm spending over six figures this year. I've already spent 90,000 on it this year, and it's only in February. Sorry, January. I'm paying someone, I've already told you, I'm paying someone £45,000 to work with me for 8 to 10 weeks. That's it. But it'll be the best money I've spent. But Dan Bradbury might disagree, but it will be good. It'll be worth it. Right, let's get on with it. So in 2022, they had 3,200 occupied. When we took over, it was less than that. 3,200 square foot. I mean, also the shop fit as well. They made massive mistakes in the shop fit. The corridors were too wide, and I don't mean just by millimeters, hundreds of millimeters. I mean meters, meters. So they didn't get the maximum lettable area, and it's just a complete mess. So 3,200. It went up in 2022 was 3,200. It went up to 7,200 in 2023. In 2024, the closing occupancy was 9,685. So we improved it by around about 1,500 square foot. It's nothing massive, but it's an improvement. It's only like 100 square foot a month, just over. So just think about that. It's only 100 square foot a month, but we improved it in 2024. In 2025, we are reducing the corridor width and we are improving. Got a meeting with Gavin Shieldston. He just texted me. I can't help but have a look. Mind you, yep, still on for a call. Yeah, so we're closing the area of the corridors and trying to increase square footage. Not massively. I think it's only 1,200 to 1,300, 1,400 square foot, but we was full internally. And the only way we can do, well, that's the only way we can increase the square foot or put some more containers on, which we are doing gradually over time when people need them, or when we got one or two spare. So we don't expect that to go up too much this year. If I can add another 1,000 square foot in occupancy, I'll be over the moon because it is smaller rooms as well, so it'll be a high price per square foot. So hopefully it'll be around about 11,000 square foot occupied at the end. I know it's not massive. It's not a massive site. This is what I mean. You don't need a massive site to make money. Beverly, we have an MLA, maximum lettable area, of less than 10,000 square foot, but it makes nets around about £150,000, £170,000 a year. So you don't need a massive site to make good money. You just need to know how to run it properly. Yeah, closing occupancy was 9,685. The churn rate in 2022, when the previous owners owned it, no idea because they never checked it. They never had details on this or data on it. The churn rate in 2023 was 87%. Now, the churn rate in 2024 was 153%. That's a big increase, a massive increase. Why might I hear you ask? Simply because they never, ever did any price increases. They had people that had been there 15 years and still paying the same amount. They had somebody, he had a 50 square foot room, a 100 square foot room, and God knows how many car parking spaces, and he was paying something like £4 or £5 a week. I shit you not. And so when we put his price increase through, it was like 1,000%. And he was like, "No, we look after each other in this area. We do things for each other." I'm like, "No, you took advantage of him." It was a local business, and he was very, very opinionated and very, very abrupt. And one could say slightly, you could interpret it as aggressive. And I feel like that he took advantage of the older man, the previous owner, his generosity. and says, "Oh, well, if he ever needs me, I'm always here for him. If he ever needs me to do anything," and I'm like, "Yeah, but he could get a handyman to do that. I mean, you're saving God knows how many, what, £500 or £600 a month easily." And so, yeah, so we got rid of him. Obviously, he left. So there's loads of people who left. So the churn rate was 153%. It's when you come somewhere, you've got to break eggs to make an omelette, and that's no difference with self storage. We opened that site. We bought that site. We knew that people were saying paying the same rate as it was doing for 10, 15 years, and it wasn't viable. It wasn't making any money, so we couldn't have them people. Are you going, Zaki? I thought he was going. Sorry, everybody. I thought he was going to school, but he's not. Right. So that was the churn rate. Oh, he's coming to say hello to everybody. Oh no, he's not. He's going to play. I don't know what he's doing. He's coming to Pagona. Right. So the churn rate. Oh, he's gone up the other side of Pagona. Awesome. Now the wind's coming through, and he's made loads of racket. Hey, this is life. I ain't got time to redo it. Right. So that's the churn rate. The revenue. This is a big one. No, I'm absolutely freezing. Right. The revenue was in 2022. NA, we don't. Oh, sorry. Yeah, NA, we don't really know. He said it was £100,000 or £106,000. It turns out from the accounts, from what we can see, it was far less than that. And so we people weren't paying the bills, etc. He said, "Well, if people don't pay the bills, it means they can't pay the bills. They can't afford to pay the bills, and so we just allow them to pay whenever they want." I'm like, that's lovely, but it's so wrong. It's not correct. That's not the way life works, unfortunately. I love it if that was the way that all life worked, but you've got to, if people don't, you train your customers. You train your customers to pay on time. You train your customers how to behave, and he's training his customers the wrong way. So the revenue in 2023 was £122,000, £122,000 in 2023. So we increased it around about 20 to 30%. Obviously, it takes some time to implement things. By the time we got in there in February, all the price increases. We didn't increase the prices straight away. I think we did it in I don't know, two months, but then it's another month after that, and people left, and so it takes some time. Like he just one step made to pull up for way, buddy. Yeah, but just leave it there, bud. He's pulling a blooming tree through from a back field, and I'm like, mate, I'm recording. Go say hi. Here he comes. Careful on that, mate. It's red hot. Right, I want to know what he's doing with this blooming big tree. I'll ask him in a minute. Right, I'm nearly finished, Saki. Right, so the revenue, banged it on the Fagona. Right, sorry everybody. This is my life. I try to do these recordings before 9 o'clock, before the kids go to school and stuff, because I can take the kids to school and then I can start work proper work. Because although I love doing the content, it just takes over my life. So I need to try and do it before school. Right, so the revenue in 2023 was 122,000. This is the most professional ever podcast about business and money. You will never ever find a more professional business podcast. The revenue in 2024 was £196,000. So we really stepped it up in 2024. Supply and demand, we was exactly the same what we did in Clough Road, what we spoke about yesterday. Clough Road had a lot of people leave when we put up the prices. Wrexham didn't. Wrexham, we put up the prices. Some people, definitely 25% across the board, like we did in Clough Road. People in Clough Road, they left because we just couldn't do it. Implied affordability is the terminology that is used there. Fred from Wholesale Storage has taught me all about that. So when he told me, I was like, "Oh my God, where did he get it from?" And he got it from America. America, just copy what's happening in America. That's all we need to do. And so the implied affordability in Wrexham is a lot higher than it is in Clough Road, believe it or not. I didn't think it would be, but there we go. And don't get me wrong, the price per square foot is different as well. The price per square foot in Wrexham was different than it was in Clough Road, so maybe that's a little bit unfair to say that. But anyway, we increased the revenue by 74. Excuse me, again, real professional. £74,000, which I was over the moon with. I think that is fantastic. So in conclusion, we gained 1,500 square foot. The churn rate is on the large side, but we expect that because we're changing all the pricing structures, and so we're going to get the people who didn't pay, and also we're paying on low rates. We're going to get rid of those people, and it is going to affect your churn rate. The big one, revenue increased by a whopping 60%. So that is really, really good. So Wrexham was brilliant. It was a brilliant purchase. Like I said, I thought, yeah, I personally put down £24,000 to buy Wrexham. So it's been a brilliant acquisition and journey because we've changed a lot of things at Wrexham. It's been simple, but it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy to implement. It's simple what to do, but it's not easy. 2025 goals. At the minute, we are nearly tapped out with revenue, but as you know, we're doing the expansion, so I think we can hit £250,000, excuse me, turnover in Wrexham, and then 2023 will crack the £300,000 and ultimately get £200,000 profit. And whether we sell it because it's so far away for us, which isn't really an issue, but we could put more coppers in the bank. Who knows? So it gives us options anyway. So 2026 will be £300,000 revenue. 2025 is going to be 250,000. Right. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to have to take my son to school now and drop off his mate's house. All right. Love you. Appreciate it. See you on Monday morning. Bye bye.